Hi there, welcome back to the Tech Choice Bootcamp UI UX design track, and it's a continuation of module 2. In the previous video, we spoke about UX discovery, the design thinking process, which involves the 5 stages, which is the empathy stage, the define stage, the ideation stage, then the prototyping stage, and the testing phase. And a key point to remember is the design thinking process doesn't follow a linear manner. Alright, now we'll be talking about research, user research and its processes, which involves the qualitative and the quantitative research processes. First off, we would like to know what user research is. And user research is the methodic study of target users, basically, including their needs and pain points. So designers have the sharpest possible insights to work with to make the best designs. User researchers use various methods to expose the problems and design opportunities and find crucial information to use in their design process. Before we look at the reason for doing user research, let's talk briefly about what we mean by user research or design research, or as it's sometimes called. User research covers a wide range of methods. It can mean anything from doing ethnographic interviews with your target group to classical usability studies to quantitative measurements of return on investment on your user experience design. What all user researcher has in common is that it helps place people at the center of your design process and your product. You use user research to inspire your design, to evaluate your solutions, and to measure your impact. To have a great design, we need to understand our users, their needs, behaviors, emotions, and motivations. This is done through user research. During user experience research, you will gather information on user behavior and needs using qualitative and quantitative data. In user research, we have qualitative and quantitative research. In qualitative research, we understand users' behaviors and attitudes by observing users directly. Qualitative research helps us understand why. In quantitative research, we employ tools such as surveys or analytics. Quantitative research helps us to understand how many. The qualitative research processes, it includes the following, which is you start with writing a research plan, then you conduct user research, then write a research report. During your research, you carry out a research plan and you make a list of these things you can see on your screen. We have the research background, then the research objectives and research questions, then make a list of participants and an interview script. Under the research background, the research background covers the high level information about the user research project and also a clear statement which shows the problem, that is the problem statement. In the research questions, your research questions should be created such that when a participant answers a research question, they are providing insights for your objectives. Then in your list of participants, you have to obtain useful insights from our study. It is important we interview the right participants, and to identify the participants that best represent our target users, we use screener questions during the participant recruitment. An interview script is a must-have document during questions research. A good interview script reminds you of important questions which will help you meet your objectives and keeps your discussions on track, not asking unnecessary questions. Your research report. The research report should contain an executive summary, the research goals, the research questions, participants, key findings, and recommendations. An executive summary gives a concise overview of the report, discussing your key findings, the purpose of your study, how and where it took place. The goal states what you hope to achieve from the study. Next things that should be on your research report are key research questions. These are a list of questions that support the main objective of the research. Another thing that will be on your research report is the list of participants and also a summary of the recruitment process, which includes screener questions and all of that. Then lastly, we have key findings and recommendations. You have to explain your key findings in details with evidence, that is, phrases from the participants that confirm the findings and recommendations. That is all about qualitative user research. Now we move to its counterpart, which is the quantitative user research. Quantitative research is the methodology which researchers use to test theories about people's attitudes and behaviors based on numerical and statistical evidences. Researchers sample a large number of users that through surveys to indirectly obtain measurable bias-free data about users in relevant situations. Quantitative research is a subset of user experience research, unlike its softer, more individual-oriented counterpart, that is qualitative research. Quantitative research means you collect statistical and numerical data to draw generalized conclusions about users' attitudes and behaviors. Quantitative research is often best done from early on in the project, since it helps teams to optimally direct product development and avoid costly design mistakes later. As you typically get users' data from a distance, that is, without close physical contact with users. Also, applying qualitative research will help you investigate why users think and feel the way they do. Indeed, in an iterative design process, quantitative research helps you test the assumption you and your design team develop from your qualitative research. Regardless of the methods you use, with proper care, you can gather objective and unbiased data, that is, information you can complement with qualitative approaches to build a fuller understanding of your target users. From there, you can work towards final conclusion and drive your design process towards a more realistic picture of how target users will ultimately receive your product. Quantitative user research is the process of collecting data and analyzing it from surveys or other analytical or measurement tools. An example is Google Analytics. There are many quantitative research methods and they help uncover different types of information on users. Some methods, such as A and B testing, are typically done on finished products, while others, such as surveys, could be done throughout a project design process. An example is survey. Surveys are conducted by using a form or questionnaire that can be completed online anonymously if needed. They are developed from the reviews of user research interviews and are used to reach a larger audience. When you ask for many users' opinions, you will gain massive amounts of information. Keep in mind that you have data about what users say they do, as opposed to insights into what they do. You can get more reliable results if you incentivize your participants well and use the right format. Analytics: with tools such as Google Analytics, you measure metrics. An example is page views, click-through rates, to build a picture. For example, how many users take how long to complete a certain task. An example of survey questions could be: do you like to advertise your baby used clothes on social media? It might be yes, it might be no. If yes, why? That is, to reach a larger audience and some other reasons. A sample brief that we'll be working with throughout this bootcamp, the design track, is: you have been engaged by a startup to design a marketplace for fairly used baby clothes and accessories. Middle income African mothers spend an average of $20 on baby clothes every month. This is my research. Our research shows that these clothes are worn for about 2 months before the babies outgrow them. The purpose of this study is to understand the behavior of middle income African moms and the major pain points they encounter in their experience of selling used baby clothes. To develop a marketplace where selling fairly used baby clothes is a cool and trendy experience, we will be exploring the journey of this category of users in order to better understand their needs and the challenges they face during their selling experience. So this is basically me pinpointing the purpose of the brief. That is, what is the goal? What goal are we trying to achieve? Then we need to learn basic things about these middle income African moms and baby clothes. For example, we need to know how moms currently sell their baby used clothes. Then what factors do moms consider or mothers consider when selling their babies used clothes? And what are the current frustrations or pain points they face when selling their baby used clothes? Example of research questions from the objectives: how do moms currently sell their babies used clothes, are: how did you start selling baby used clothes? When did this happen? What motivated you to do this? Why are you doing this? And so on. Then in our research to build a product for moms, screener questions for participants could be: do you have a child or children? If they answer yes, they are definitely a good fit to progress into like the interview. Yes, but if they answer no, because why ask a woman without a child about how she sells her baby used clothes? Do you understand? I hope you understand. So we have screened that group of people out of our interview. So that brings us to the end of module 2. See you in the next video, and thank you. Bye.